A demonstration of flint knapping was given on RTE by Dr. Bill Schunder, on the program What Are You Eating, broadcast on Thursday the 8th of March 2018. I complained about some aspects of this program to RTE, however RTE dismissed or ignored all of my complaints for 2 months and only responded when the Broadcasting Authority of Ireland intervened with them. I am going to make a series of short YouTube videos of the different aspects of my complaints. One complaint that RTE dismissed was on health and safety grounds. RTE are obliged not to broadcast material that might encourage people to imitate acts which are damaging to the health and safety of themselves or to others. The phrase "do not try this at home" comes to mind. The risks of flint knapping are well known, and I will show you a third-party safety risk assessment for this task. Here is the segment that I complained about on health and safety grounds.
At first, we humans were just scavengers. But then we discovered tools.
And that's game-changing, completely. And when that happens, and that happens around 2 million years ago, we see the biggest transformation in our bodies at that time. Our brains grow exponentially, and just as importantly, our body size grows, and females become about the same size as males.
So what were the first tools then beyond fingers and teeth that we used?
Okay, so the very first tool first appears around 3.5 million years ago. And it's a very basic technology where you take 2 rocks, and I'm going to use this to strike off a flake. And look at that edge. That edge is, careful, that edge is razor sharp. And in certain rocks, like obsidian, it's 300 times sharper than a scalpel.
My God. You know what? It's so sharp, you could shave with that.
Safety priorities are your eyeglasses, number one. Never, ever do it without eye protection. It only takes one flake to get in your eye to make you go blind. And if you do happen to decide to try making stone tools and you do get a flake in your eye, whatever you do, don't rub your eye, because basically what you're doing is you're taking an extremely sharp object, even though it's very small, and you're just sort of grinding it around on the surface of your eyeball, and next thing you know, you're blind. So if you do happen to get a flake in your eye, best thing to do is flush it out with water, step on your foot, make yourself cry, do whatever you have to do, but just don't actually rub your eye.
This was an interesting demonstration, but basic safety procedures were not followed, as no safety glasses or other PPE were used, and wild animals were butchered without rubber gloves, which the Department of Agriculture, Food and the Marine and the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Wildlife Services, which Bill should be familiar with, both say rubber gloves should be used when butchering wild animals, but the show's producers chose to demonstrate butchering and flint knapping exactly how it was done millions of years ago, before health and safety laws came into force. I guess it would get more reaction from the Snowflake Vegan Brigade. It reminded me of the late Jerry Ryan and the Lambo story, available online from the Irish Times. In 1987, Jerry Ryan, a RTE employee, decided to cause a stir. During an uneventful survival segment in Connemara on The Gay Byrne Show, he reported killing a lamb. It was a hoax, but the scandal turned him into a household name. The truth was that a farmer took pity on the hungry Jerry and friends and shot and killed and butchered a lamb for them to eat. It created great controversy at the time, somewhat like Philip tried to do. There is little doubt in my mind that risks were taken with health and safety of the participants to give the show a more authentic feeling and improve ratings and add some shock value to the production. There was no valid editorial reason to show bare hands and fingers coming into contact with the fresh blood of a duck and the heart and liver being ripped out by bare-blooded hands. It is the view of many people that this was done solely to troll vegans who were likely to tune into the program. Philip used the word troll before the show was broadcast to describe his activities, where he shows a duck being cut open, and he is right. A troll is somebody who sows discord by starting quarrels or upsetting people, by showing inflammatory behavior, with the intent of provoking certain viewers into an emotional response to generate controversy by cleverly pissing off a segment of the viewers, while at the same time a different segment of the viewers would be amused at the discomfort of vegans. This type of behavior is not acceptable from RTE, and according to one expert in the area, Dr. Maureen O'Sullivan, lecturer in law, it is a breach of Article 9 of the European Convention on Human Rights, which relates to freedom of conscience and protects beliefs. What is most worrying is RTE's treatment of this complaint about safety issues. They have twice dismissed this complaint, saying that this procedure has been done safely for millions of years without safety glasses. RTE, is treating any critical questions of itself, like Donald Trump press secretary treats any critical questions about his activities. It is not just me that has complained about this program, several ethical complaints about this program were just ignored or dismissed. This demonstration should not have happened as shown for the following reasons. 1. Viewers young and old could easily try to imitate the flint napping demonstration and injure themselves because of lack of PPE. 2. The people doing the demonstration could have easily injured themselves, or onlookers. 3. It is not considered safe to butcher wild animals, in particular ducks, due to the risk of infection from certain strains of influenza viruses and other avian pathogens, for example Salmonella spp, Chlamydia. Furthermore, the hunting, handling and dressing of shot waterfowl carries the risk of spreading avian influenza germs. I had not realized that there were so many zoonotic diseases around, so it appears that Philip Boucher-Hayes could get chlamydia and possibly other diseases from some bird that he came in contact with in the Powerscourt estate, while working for RTE, as shown on the film, all because he did not wear the right protection. So RTE and UCD have some unanswered questions as to how employees and students can be seen carrying out risky tasks without using the recommended personal protective equipment. So far my experience with RTE is that it would be easier for an African American man to get justice in the deep south of the US 80 years ago, than for RTE to find itself guilty of any wrongdoing. This segment is another example of a breach of the 2009 broadcasting guidelines. Subscribe to get the latest videos in this series.